State University's business plan, how to increase enrollment. State University Fast Facts. State University is a public regional university that is a commuter non-traditional campus, which means the majority of the students are over the age of 24 and they don't live on campus. Their enrollment is about 8,500 students with 6,500 undergraduates and 2,000 graduate students. It is located in an urban community with 750,000 residents, 30 undergraduate degree programs offered, as well as 15 master degree programs with no doctoral degrees offered. There are 10 NCAA Division III athletic teams, low retention rates, and a 30-to-1 student-teacher ratio. However, they have experienced a 3-year enrollment decline, but a new chancellor is starting in January, so it is a perfect time for an enrollment initiative. And the best aspect of the fun facts, SU is the lowest tuition in the state for a 4-year institution. State University's plan. Problems include decreasing state funds, decreasing budget, increasing competition among local universities, and the 3-year declining enrollment. What's the solution? Increase student enrollment at State University. Why increase enrollment? Increase enrollment means increased revenue, increasing the number of students and student life on campus, which means more fun and higher retention rates. You also increase the opportunities to impact community and local economic development by adding new degree programs online and on campus to meet those community needs. Allows for more faculty hours and overall campus growth. So how do we increase enrollment? Hire new admissions recruiters, redesign the SU website, and update the recruiting strategy. Redesign the academic advising program to be more student-centered. Increase the scholarship budget for transfer scholarships as well as first-time guaranteed scholarships. Offer more online course programs, degree programs, online degree programs for undergraduate and graduate students. Partner with local community colleges to create bridge programs and articulation agreements. Enrollment Initiative. State University, as I mentioned before, is a regional public university with 8,500 students. It's a commuter non-traditional campus, and the purpose of this plan is to increase student enrollment because they're facing a 3-year enrollment decline. So how do we do that? Well, the current populations are prospective students, current students, faculty, staff, community, the governing board, and the Louisiana legislature. The current SU processes are current recruitment plan, the scholarship program, and the academic advising program. Systems used include the SU mainframe computer system and the admissions recruiting software. The key inputs are money and planning, updating the recruiting plan on the SU website, hiring 2 new admissions recruiters, creating a new academic advising program, redesigning the scholarship program, offering new degree programs on campus, creating online degree programs, and increasing online course offerings. Partner with community colleges to create bridge programs and articulation agreements, and create a new campus beautification plan to make our campus even more beautiful. How do we do that? Affected populations, prospective students, current students, faculty, staff, and community. The revised SU processes include the recruitment plan, the SU website, the scholarship program, a newly redesigned academic advising program, new degree programs, new online courses and degree programs, and a new beautification plan. The systems impacted include the SU mainframe computer system and the admissions recruiting software. The key outcomes: increased enrollment, retention, student involvement, faculty positions, course and program offerings, and a brand new beautiful campus. Analysis. Create new recruiting plan, hire 2 recruiters to expand the recruiting territories, and redesign the SU website to be more customer-friendly, more student-focused. These types of changes would include the personnel, systems, and processes. The impact of change would be positive. However, it could be negative depending on how the faculty view it. While there is a budget crisis on campus, many would wonder why the money would be going to admissions and not to hiring more faculty. Redesigning academic advising programs by providing extensive training and incentives to faculty members engaged in advising. Again, this is key to increase both recruitment and retention of students. Academic advising starts at orientation, which is considered a recruiting event these days. Students haven't decided where they're going to school at orientation, so by creating an opportunity for students to meet with faculty advisors to create a relationship allows for improved both recruitment and attention by coming to the university. These types of changes would include personnel and processes, and while the impact of change would be positive, the perception could be negative because faculty could see this as more work with the extensive training. However, we would be providing incentives to them for the new academic advising program. Implementing a new scholarship program to reach out to transfer students and offer guaranteed scholarships to incoming freshmen. This type of change would be a processes change. This is important because SU's scholarship budget is very, very small. It needs to be increased to include guaranteed scholarships to incoming freshmen. Freshmen will be granted scholarships if they have a certain GPA, as well as a certain ACT or SAT. Also, increasing the scholarship program to offer transfer student scholarships is wonderful, because what happens is that as students transfer universities, their financial aid travels with them. So by offering an extra incentive of a transfer scholarship, more students are more likely to come to SU. The impact of change would be positive. Working with SU's governing board to gain approval to offer new programs on campus to meet the needs of the community. There are several degree programs that prospective students often ask about SU, as well as needs for the community. These would include healthcare, engineering, hospitality, as well as arts. These type of changes would include personnel, systems, and processes. While this is a positive change, it could be perceived as negative because there would be a lot of work done and a lot of faculty members' workloads could increase if faculty or adjuncts were not hired once these new programs were offered. Work to place popular undergraduate and graduate degree programs online. This goes hand in hand with increasing the number of undergraduate classes online offered to students. Currently, SU has a very small presence online. In fact, there's only a few number of undergraduate classes online. There are no complete undergraduate or graduate degree programs online. This is an untapped market for SU. This is a perfect opportunity to increase enrollment for SU. However, it's going to take quite a bit of change, personnel, systems, and processes. The impact of change will be positive. However, it could be viewed as negative depending on the audience, because faculty would have to be trained on how to teach online courses, how to have to increase their workload to teach online courses, as well as computing services would have to put these courses online, have the technology infrastructure. Increasing the number of undergraduate classes online, same concerns, personnel, systems, and processes, and the impacts of changes would be the same. Developing key partnerships with local community colleges by creating bridge programs and creating articulation agreements. This is a great opportunity to work with the community colleges to create a seamless transfer for our community college students over to SU. Personnel, systems, and processes would all be affected, and the positive change would occur. Work with facility services to implement a beautification plan to improve SU's campus. It is already beautiful, however, first impressions are key to any prospective recruiting strategy. These type of changes in personnel and processes, the impact of change will be positive, making SU a more beautiful campus. However, facility services could see this as negative, having more work with less resources. Populations impacted by the change. The leadership team would be leading the initiative. Their types of changes would be processes. The impact of change would be positive. Current SU graduates and undergraduate students, they look at the personnel and processes, the type of courses offered, online versus new degree programs. The impact of change would be positive. The academic advising program, you'd see personnel and processes changing. Faculty, they're going to be impacted both negatively and positively. The type of change is going to be personnel, systems, and processes. The impact of change with being negative could be seen as more work with less resources if adjuncts aren't hired. Admissions office, their personnel, systems, and processes will be changed due to all the different initiatives of the enrollment they'll be implementing. Their impact of change will be positive, as well as financial aid office. They'll be enacting processes change for the new scholarship program, with the impact being positive. Facility services, they'll be implementing a new beautification plan, so their processes will change. And while it's seen as positive in the long run, it can be perceived as negative, more work with less resources. Computing services, they're going to be very much impacted. With the online course offerings, with the current new degree programs offered, as well as the redesigning of the website, a lot of their processes and systems will have to be updated. So while the impact of the change will be positive, it can be perceived as negative because there is more work with the same amount of resources. The staff, the administrative and support staff, their personnel, systems, and processes could all change. So the impact of change, while it's positive, could be perceived as negative, more work. opportunity to develop a relationship. The impact of change will be positive. The community, the processes could be affected because of the on-campus degree programs we'll be offering to more meet the local needs of the community. This is positive. Cultural impact. The leadership team is responsible for leading the initiative and feels it will overall positively impact the SU culture. Students will be positively impacted. They'll benefit from increased course offerings, academic advising, new degree programs, and more student life. Faculty will be, in the long run, positively impacted. However, due to the changes, there could be a negative perception because there is going to be increased teaching loads, more training for online courses, as well as academic advising. The admissions office will be positively impacted. They'll gain 2 admissions recruiters and have a redesigned website, increase enrollment. Financial aid office will be positively impacted. Their scholarship budget will be increased, and they'll be able to give out more scholarships to some freshmen as well as transfer students. Facility services, they could have a negative, their culture could be negatively impacted. There's more work with less resources. It could lead to low morale, as with computing services when they're looking at redesigning the website and putting all these new online courses up. The staff could be perceived as negative as well. More work with less resources. This could lead to low morale, as with the faculty. Cultural impact. Prospective students will be positively impacted. They'll benefit from more course and degree offerings, superior advising, and experience seamless transitions from one university to SU. Local community colleges, they'll be positively impacted. They'll benefit from articulation and bridge programs, and the community will be positively impacted. They'll benefit from more college graduates with degrees that meet the needs of the community's workforce. Processes impact. Overall, the leadership team feels it will positively impact SU and its processes. Students will be positively impacted. It will enhance their academic advising experiences, more degree and class offerings. It will streamline those processes. The faculty, over time, will be positively impacted, but they could be perceived as negative because new processes will need to be created for new degree programs, online courses, and redesigned academic advising programs. Admissions offices, their new processes will be created, all processes updated and streamlined. Financial aid office, they'll be positively impacted. All processes will need to be redesigned, streamlined, updated, and new processes could be created for the new scholarship budget. Facility services, their processes could be altered due to the beautification plan. It could be negatively perceived, as well as computing services and staff could negatively be impacted because while the processes could change or need to be updated due to the newly created degree programs and courses, it could be seen as negative, even though in the long run it will be positive. External organizations. Prospective students will be positively impacted. SU recruitment, admissions, and academic processes will be streamlined. Local community colleges will be creating new processes with them, developing relationships we've never done before. And the community should be unaffected by the enrollment initiative process. Structural impact. The overall SU effects for the majority of the departments on campus, structurally they won't be impacted. The faculty will be structurally impacted. With more adjuncts and more hires, it will be perceived as positive. They'll get help. However, I imagine they'll still be perceived as negative because there's the idea of having to structurally learn new systems for online courses. Admissions office will be minimally structurally impacted positively because they'll be gaining 2 new admissions recruiters. External organizations, structurally they're not impacted. In conclusion, implementing the SU's enrollment initiative will lead to an increase in overall enrollment for both undergraduate and graduate programs. This will lead to an increased number of undergraduate and graduate students, increased student retention rates through the newly improved academic advising program, increased revenue, allowing opportunities to hire new faculty, new staff positions, increased student life on campus, increased employee morale, meeting performance-based funding measurements, beautifying the SU campus even more, and building new facilities on campus growth. This, in essence, is a summary of the enrollment initiative at SU University. Thank you.